We're now in the El Paso County Courthouse in El Paso, Texas.
All rise.
Please be seated. The record should reflect the attorneys for the state, the attorneys for the accused are present in the courtroom.
The man you see here is 41-year-old Daniel Villegas, accused of killing 2 teens in 1993 when he was just 16. At that time, without an attorney or his parents present, Villegas says he was coerced by an El Paso detective into confessing to the murders. Despite recanting the confession hours later, it became a key piece of evidence for the prosecution.
Are present in the courtroom. The court has received a message from the jury indicating that they've reached a verdict.
Villegas has been on trial 3 separate times for this crime and has maintained his innocence throughout.
Let's bring the jury in.
His first trial in 1994 ended in a mistrial due to a hung jury. A 1995 retrial ended with a conviction for capital murder, and Villegas was sentenced to life in prison. After spending 18 years in prison, that verdict was thrown out in 2013 because of ineffective assistance of counsel. Villegas was released in January of 2014 and has remained out on bond as he awaited a 3rd trial. During that time, he fathered 2 children. Though the prosecution continued to insist on his guilt, there was no DNA, no firearm, and no forensic evidence presented linking Villegas to the shooting.
If the defendant will please stand.
The last 25 years of his life, much of it in prison, has all led up to this moment.
In the District Court of El Paso County, Texas, 409th Judicial District, the state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas, number 94-0D09328. Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of
For the first time since he was 16 years old, 25 years ago, Daniel Villegas is a free man.
Mr. Villegas, you have been under many conditions in this court. You are no longer under any conditions in this court. You are free to leave. Good luck to you.
You're Jesse Coleman?
Yes, sir.
You know why you're here today?
Next, we take you inside the Washington County Courthouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. That's Carla Robinson and her stepdaughter, Jessie Coleman.
Actually, why don't you two both come stand right here, right in front of me. Why don't you stand right there? Why don't you stand right there? Okay.
The person whose voice you hear is Judge Russ Vaclaw.
You know why you're here today? Well, some things are worth the wait.
Oh, okay.
I received a letter yesterday about you.
I'm sorry?
The letter he's referring to was sent by Jessie's stepmother and the reason for her appearance in court today.
I received a letter yesterday about you. You were not born 29 years ago, but that's when you got a mother.
That's true.
It's always amazing to me. Don't start, ladies. Don't start. Well, Miss Robinson, do you want to clue her in on what she's missing?
I've been planning this since the first of the year.
Carla raised Jessie since she was a child. And even though she's been divorced from Jessie's father since 2007, the women remain close. But now Carla wants to make their relationship official.
I think we give too much credit to biology sometimes. In other words, biology can make you a parent, but it doesn't give you that sacred title of mother or father.
Absolutely.
So for over 20 years, someone has been a mother to you. Even though you were not born to her, she treated you as if you were her child, and you treated her as if she was your mother. No matter how you cut it in every emotional sense and to most appearances, she is your mother and you are her daughter. But legally, that is not the case.
Yes, sir.
So I ask you again, do you know why you're here today?
Yes, sir.
On this day, the judge gets to use his power not to hand out a lengthy jail sentence, but to legalize a family bond.
Miss Coleman, I want you to raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Do you want Miss Robinson to adopt you,
Yes, sir.
to be her legally adopted daughter?
Yes, sir.
And it's my honor, though, as I said, I cannot create or order someone to love someone else or to even take care of them in a certain way. But I can order and make it known to everyone that legally, as of now, she is legally and formally your mother.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Best gift ever.
We head now to a hearing in Louisville, Kentucky. The defendant, James Roeder, has been charged with burglary. His alleged partner in crime? His wife, Ashley. They're both charged with breaking into a warehouse and stealing 6 flat-screen TVs. At the time of the robbery, Ashley was pregnant. James, who's been locked up in county jail since his arrest, has had a no-contact order with his wife, meaning they're not allowed to speak to each other before their court cases because they're co-defendants. While they've been separated, Ashley gave birth to their son.
You sure you're comfortable with this? Is this what you want to do? All right, just stay right there for just a second.
The judge is addressing Ashley, who's in court with her baby for her own hearing. James Roeder, who has just left the courtroom after his hearing, is being brought back in.
I don't want you to say anything to me about your case at all. Don't say anything. Your lawyer's not present right now. But I understand that there is a chance that you're going to go back to Todd County and that your baby is a month old and you haven't met that baby yet. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Roeder, do you want to come up here? I know you have a no contact order between you and Miss Roeder that I issued, and I'm not changing that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm making a temporary exception right in front of me on the record so that you can meet this baby. This is your son. Be careful. You see his little shirt?
Yeah.
It could be a fair amount of time before Roeder sees his son again.
Give everybody some. All right.
Thank you.
James Roeder is sentenced to 4 years for third-degree complicity burglary.
And Miss Roeder, you can stay up here because I'm going to call your case next.
Ashley Roeder's given probation and is currently taking care of the couple's 2 children.
Thank you for letting me be a part of that. If y'all aren't teared up, then you're just heartless.
Next, we head to a Montgomery County Justice of the Peace courtroom in Willis, Texas, where friends and family are gathering for the wedding celebration of longtime couple Monica Morrison and Dean Birkenhoff.
As a judge,
Joining them are their 2 children,
question and answer. Therefore, what God joins together.
along with
let
Judge
no man
Wayne
separate.
Mack, who's officiating.
Dean and Monica, today is the beginning of your continuing life together.
It looks just like any ordinary courthouse wedding.
Place that on her finger.
But what the happy couple doesn't know is that their special day is about to take a huge left turn.
Before I pronounce them, is there anybody here that would like to raise an objection?
I would.
Amanda?
I love both of you so very much. And I know the one thing in the world that you both would want so much is to have Colton here.
Colton was Monica and Dean's other son, who suddenly passed away 7 years ago. It was a devastating time for the family, but they found some comfort in donating Colton's organs to those in need.
And I know the one thing in the world that you both would want so much is to have Colton here.
This is 28-year-old Travis Stuffelbein. He's an organ recipient, and he's alive today because inside his chest,
Colton's not here physically. He's here.
Colton's heart beats on. And this is the first time the couple and Travis have ever come face to face.
Travis wanted to be here because he felt like he needed to be here. He brought a stethoscope. And when I'd like you to have the opportunity. Colton, you here.
Yeah, I'm just borrowing it. And to me, this is where it belongs. And thank you from my family to you guys. Like, we were grateful. And the heart is finally home. Yes.
It's my honor and privilege today to pronounce you man and wife. Dean, you may greet your bride.
I don't think there is any words. It was special to hear them again.
For our next story, we go to Palm Beach County, Florida. The prosecutor's 28-year-old Brandon Dinetz. He's asked his girlfriend, Jennifer Letman, to watch his opening statement since she, too, is an attorney. Brandon told her it's a big DUI case and he could use her support. But there's something else going on here today.
Let's bring in the jury, please.
The judge calls the jury in, but Jennifer quickly realizes something's amiss. For starters, there's 17 jurists in the jury box instead of the usual 12, and Jennifer personally knows each and every one of them.
Very good. All right, you may all have a seat.
If you haven't already guessed, this is not a real trial. But Brandon still has a statement he'd like to make.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You know, typically I start my openings by talking about the privilege I have of representing the state of Florida. But today, I have the privilege of representing myself. A moment to confer with co-counsel.
Brandon's about to introduce Exhibit A to the court. Let's hope there aren't any objections.
Ms. Letman, if you would join me in a well of order. Will you marry me?
Brandon spent 5 months preparing for this day. And from Jennifer's reaction, and everyone else's, the verdict appears to be unanimous. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to A&E to never miss a new video and catch full episodes on aetv.com.